one of the Iberian qualifiers, if I remember correctly. Heart Legion, on the other hand, Kinky, Crad, Forrester, those players, Sviat as well has his moments. Some fantastic aimers, and I think they might be the most individually skilled team that we've gone across the entire board, but I'm personally a little bit biased in favor of them. So the problem for the loser of this matchup is either one of these teams going up against Heart Legion or so, I don't heavily favor them whatsoever. So it's definitely a really scary place to be stuck in. And with that being said, let's jump into the game. Let's make it happen. Pistol round already underway.
Oh, look at that. One player already falling in the form of Shocks. And it's going to be followed up by Innocent and Veggie. So already a 3-on-4. The CTs finding themselves in uncomfortable positions to start off with. The A side has already been taken care of. Oh, they're just waiting for the retake now. Slowly moving into the bomb site. Oh, are they hoping for a ninja here while their teammates defend?
Well, right now, he does end up being ILLUMINAR to take it away. We're just sorting out some situations going on, and we're just trying to figure things out. But in the meanwhile, first round goes the way of ILLUMINAR, and they're going to be having a field day with that one in particular, because you look over towards Smash as a team, they... Oh dear. Is the game not live? Am I just wrong? I'm not quite... I think the game's live.
Oh, my apologies. My microphone just had a few hiccups here and there. But yeah, the game is live for sure, 100%.
Okay.
Alright, to sort out any confusion, there was just a bit of an issue with the HUD, but that's about it. The game is live, in fact, and ILLUMINAR is up 1-0. Hopefully we're not going to encounter any issues. Now, Veggie and Snack, they've already been taken out. The CT side, despite the fact that they got the victory on the first one, it's just the nature of the T side. I mean, they're locked and loaded. They've got a couple Galils, an AK-47, and tons of utility on Shocks, and even a scout rifle to follow suit. Ooh, reads. He's in a pivotal position here.
Miles in the 1v5, not an enviable position whatsoever.
Shut the players down off of. It just didn't happen. X smash, getting the second round, and exposing the beauty of the T side.
Well, I mean, it is the good old-fashioned, hey, let's just bring out a buy somehow or another. Now, you are probably going to be seeing ILLUMINAR force buying up as well. We do, of course, have a pause coming in. Just, unfortunately, a couple of small production issues going on that we're trying to figure out, we're trying to fix as well. Once those are put to the wayside, sorted out, we're going to be perfectly fine. Remember, guys, it's day one. It's a chill day. We get to make some mistakes on day one. We've actually had quite a few nightmare stories from our days in day ones as well. For us, I think, well, dear God, Wild Daily. I think I remember a LAN or two that we were at a couple of years ago where we had about 2 hours of fill time, something like that, within one best of 3.
I mean,
something ridiculous. And that was a big LAN.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty tame compared to the delay we had because of a PC catching fire. I mean, I think I think that can't be like a player just getting up off of their PC and going like, all right, my PC's on fire. Somebody needs to come fix this.
Yeah, I remember it was some good days, good old-fashioned Pakistani Counter-Strike where we actually had the producer come over and he specifically came through and drew like a flame on a paper in front of me, and he just passed it to me because I was on camera at that time. And as a result of that, I was just sitting down there thinking, wait, what the hell is this? You know, why
Is that an emoji?
I literally thought, hey, is this guy saying that we're straight fire in our casting right now? Yeah, that's literally what I thought. And then immediately after that, he's like, no. And then he draws like a computer next to it. And I'm thinking, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? And then after that, it all just came. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, like, oh God, dude, this is like, are we firing someone? Am I fired? Should I be worried about my paycheck? I mean, this isn't in my contract. And then when all was said and done, he just wrote down, which in hindsight would have probably been a little bit easier to do from the start. Bottom, yeah, he just wrote down a computer on fire, Phil, which was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen written down on a piece of paper when I'm going into a broadcast. And that's keeping in mind I make my own notes, so that's obviously.
I'm just surprised that they were able to fix it in what. Like, I mean, of course there were delays because of other issues, but I think they were able to fix it in like the PC itself in like 30 minutes maybe. That.
Well, it did lead to some comical moments on stream, regardless, which I still fondly remembered. Let's just put it this way. Players, if you're watching this, be very careful what you're doing on camera, especially if you have an itch in places where you shouldn't have an itch on stream. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way and leave it at that. But those were some good times. And I say it like it was a long time ago. It was about, what, 2.5 months ago? Yeah, those were some interesting days. I mean, you've had a lot more experience covering local tournaments than I have, though. I mean, I'm sure you've got some great stories.
I already know what you're trying to fish out of me. I mean, like it's the freezing cold, and yeah, that's.
No, come on, give us a story. It works. Don't name names, but give us a story.
All right. So, all right. How do I start this? On a lonely night. No, wait. It was a cold winter night. That's way better. And it was pretty lonely too, but it was a cold winter night. Young Faraz, Waldeiri, CS, had to go ahead and cast a tournament. And surprisingly, in -1 degree Celsius weather, there was no heating for the casting booth.
Also an open casting booth.
And also an open casting booth. Speaking of itches to scratch, though, I think there's a CS itch to scratch that we should probably be getting back to now that the game is live again.
Well, I mean, if we have to.
Yeah. I mean, I was having way more fun with the story time anyway, but maybe we're probably going to get more day one delays anyway. So maybe we can cover it then. Hopefully not, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm still a little bit worried about where ILLUMINAR is going to find themselves. Money's obviously such a difficult situation to really prop up within the CT side economy. And with this force spike coming out, it's not going to be sustained at all unless you're able to come out and win this round outright.
Yeah, very unfortunate that X-Smash, they were able to take the round straight up after losing the pistol round. They're obviously not feeling too good about this, but Shocks almost gets Veggie. Very unfortunate, just missing a few shots here and there. Speaking of fires, though, Bubble is able to burn Snacks to the ground. Innocent responds with a kill. It is a 2-on-2, looking very good for ILLUMINAR. And look at Mouse's position. I don't think they realizes this. He misses the first few shots, but he's eventually able to connect. Now Disco Doppelin and Reitz in a 1-versus-1.
Riats. It's easy in hand. 20 seconds on the clock. Has got so much to do. He swings out wide, but he can't bring Doppelin down. Doppelin still on 3 HP. Wide swing with the Glock, and he will be able to take the man down. ILLUMINAR, like I said before, it had to be a win for them, and unfortunately, it just isn't just quite yet. And with that, you know what? We wanted to just show our faces in the middle very quickly as well. So just keep an eye out for that one. We will occasionally just throw us in. The caster reaction is very, very important for a play like a 1v1 over there.
That's true. X-Smash, though, they're very fortunate that they were able to pick up that round. I mean, it came down to the last thread, 1-versus-1, and they were still able to get it. ILLUMINAR now, though, very down in terms of economy, averaging $2,000. Pretty much a full eco coming out from them. Is that a P250 on Mouse, or is that just the lack of a silencer on a USP?
I think it's I'm actually not sure. It looks like a P250. No, it's a P2K. It's a P2K, that's for sure.
Oh, okay. But anyway, X-Smash already making their way up connector, and they have the bomb down. Illuminar not getting any damage just yet, but this is a wise play from them to just try to go for exits because they know that they're just going to get mowed down if they try to go for these straight up duels. Shocks has been tagged down to 40 points of health, so saving his weapon will be a little more difficult.
Well, yeah, Snacks going down isn't going to be great. They are hoping to find any sort of weaponry to take forward with them into the next round. The Smash have just very methodically taken control over the site. They've made sure that there's absolutely no one who's going to be falling, and with that, the rifles moving forward. Shocks does actually die to the explosion. He was a bit too close, keeping in mind the damage he'd already had, but not too much loss. Still 4 Kevlars and rifles kept alive, so nothing too major going into the next one. So with that said and done though, Illuminar, no AWP for them, but they do have their first proper gun round by. Also keep in mind, Molotovs are something that are going to be sorely missing for the side of the Poles. Without that, you need them to get aggressive early on. Maybe Riyadh tries to go in, but without Molly, you can't even take control over AK too easily, and Snacks finds a kill through the smoke. His Fates was just trying to move past, trying to cross, and the good old M4A1S through his smoke comes in. It just works out in his favor.
That's just the beauty of the M4A1S as well. It's so hard to fire back if you're getting shot with something that doesn't have multiplayer knee sound. So even though it's pretty much the worst gun in the world in every other regard, out in that regard. Innocent though gets taken down by Disco Joplins. Nax is able to immediately respond though. Is he gonna get picked out by Grux? All the way from Palace. Don't get tagged down to 10 points of health though. The A side has been taken control of. Ooh, racist position. Making his way to the A bomb site. Takes down Shocks. Very little HP for X-Smash to work with.
They still have to make it happen. The positioning from Illuminar is excellent. You can see them being unwilling to give up anything, but it does seem like they're not entirely aware where the second player is coming from, and they're very wary of alert over in mid. Bubble finding the important kill on the Riyadh. Will he expect the second player over towards CT? Doesn't look like it, as Veggie came in. Bubble, beautiful shot. Mouse is down, and once again in a 1v1 for Smash. The question is, how is Veggie going to be moving? He's going to be visible, but he catches Bubble out midair, takes him down 3 for 2, and Smash is not able to extend their lead, but with CT's only keeping one player alive, their money's not going to be great, and their loss bonus has just been ticked down for no reason.
For a second there, it did look like X-Smash was going to solidify their lead, but just the fact that their HP was being chipped away, even like on their way to the bomb site, it made it so much harder to win out on those duels, and that is what Illuminar capitalized. But the problem with being on the CT side is that they're still doing so poorly in terms of economy, and Shock's is gonna make it worse as he takes down 3. Solid stuff as Max and Reeds are forced to retreat. All 5 players are alive on the terrorist side. This is just a disaster for Illuminar. I mean, winning 1 round and immediately they just get shut down.
And the problem is with Snacks and Riyadh being on SMGs, there's not even a chance of you trying to save and saying, oh yeah, no, we're fine. You know, we'll save these 2 weapons. We'll buy around them in the next round. This is very much... Okay, well, at least they find the AK. They do take it forward, so there's still something to make out from this. But the next round's going to be very tricky. I wouldn't even blame Riyadh if he just wants to go for some kills. The $600 could be big, but what's even bigger is the fact that Grux is all the way over towards the B apartments, and it is going to be very, very scary. See how they make this happen.
I'm just surprised that it took so long for the bomb to go down. Shocks, I think he already has 4 kills to his name. He's probably looking to make it the ace, but I mean, aces are for style points, and he's a grown-up. I don't think he's gonna go for it. He knows how much it matters for the CT side to stick to their weaponry, and Fets picks up the last one. Easy stuff coming out from X-Smash. Just that push towards mid. Excellent stuff because he was able to win out on those aim duels. An excellent flashbang that pretty much flashed both of his opponents there. You see how difficult it was for them to even try to react to that, and a tap coming up towards short. Solid stuff. Look at their execute.
Against the pistol rounds, it should be an easy enough task. Let's see how it goes, though. It all does come down to, as always, how much damage the team do in a place like this. No money really to be able to buy up, and that's the other difference that, you know, the 2-4 scorer line, you might think it's not too bad, but that's a nice shot from him. The fact of the matter is, with loss bonus being this low, you're also not going to have the opportunity to buy up deeper armor and keep the T side economy low. So the fact that the Ts are continually resetting CT loss bonus by having them win a round or two in the middle, that's not a great sign.
Dox is just lucky that he's still alive with 8 HP. I mean, that would be a wasted gun for no reason. But pretty much no damage coming out from ILLUMINAR. And not much of a contest even here, as they're able to just walk into the bomb site. Good stuff from ILLUMINAR though, because they're prioritizing saving their money over trying to go for a quick buy. And at this point, they will be able to get a comfortable buy. It is going to come down to how Snax is able to maneuver with the AWP though, because he has the most powerful weapon in the game right now, and they don't have that much utility to work with. I mean, 4 smokes, that's pretty good, but just having a single Molotov, not that many flashbangs, this puts them in a position where they have to try to get these early picks, or just pincer the terrorists to the point where using as much utility is not necessary.
Drox is obviously one of the biggest players to keep an eye out for on this roster, and his position right now is huge. Riats goes down, so Shox only has to worry about one angle when coming out. He's already cleared out CT. He'll take control of jungle, and he did it without having to use the bench, so sound will not be given, but Innocent was expecting this. He was expecting the push through connector. So now he's trying to reposition, but he has to be very careful. Grox is still up top within the palace, and if he swings out wide, neither one of these players on the A side are actually looking towards him. Snax is located. Grox is still not revealing himself. Innocent finds another one, and now Veggie's rotated as well. Smash have not been able to penetrate the CT side defense, and this is going to continue to get increasingly difficult. The question is, what can Fates find with the AWP? Snax is still scoping down towards Palace, but we have to keep an eye on Fates, as he is just inside the Tetris area. Snax hoping desperately for something, but it is just his teammates to finish things off. A decent enough round from him. We have to keep in mind that more than anything else, the pressure that AWP exerts is going to be keeping them back continuously.
Like I said, I think it did really come down for Snax to be picking up those early kills, and that's exactly what he was able to do. Getting that pick on ramp, that forced the terrorists to regroup and reposition themselves, because otherwise they just get picked off by the AWP. Meanwhile, Innocent was able to pretty much form a crossfire there from the stairs area and capitalize off of Snax's positioning. Now, Fets, though, picking up Snax makes their lives a hell of a lot easier, as Apartments is fair game. The CTs now have to reposition, but so much presence from the CTs still on the mid area. They want to try to get a pick, because otherwise it would just be a free entry for the terrorist side on account of the lack of players on the CT side. Now, 1 kill already being taken by Reeds, and a second by Innocent makes it feasible for the CTs to make it back into the round, but Rux with his double kill just turns things around yet again. 2-1-3 now. Okay, the bomb.
The problem is always going to be Veggie's HP. Unless he gets the immediate one tap onto Grux, this is going to be such a difficult duel for him to win. Grux, however, might just be turning around, and as I say that, he does back off after spotting him out. Mouse is next before Bubble, holding the great angle around Garbage, means that Veggie is alone. I think they saw him earlier, so I'm not entirely sure why they're clearing out CT completely, but Veggie backs off. Will be trying to save the AK-47, but with the bomb being planted, they've got so much time to hunt him down as well. They know there's only one direction he could have gone to. and that is towards the B side. I say that, but I'm lying, because he's now going towards T-spawn.
The reason they checked CT over there is because after Veggie exposed himself for about 10 seconds there when he was taking the fight over towards default, there was ample time without any audio information for him to jump into jungle and try to pincer around CT spawn. That wasn't the case though, but it's still good on Xmash for having the attention to detail to still go ahead and check CT. Otherwise, if he was going for a hero play towards CT, that could have worked out for him. Xmash though, their 6th round on the board. I mean, as terrorists, they're feeling very comfortable right now because they're in a position where they have a huge economic lead. Not just, I mean, obviously they don't have that much money to work with if they do lose a round, but their lead comes from the fact that ILLUMINAR pretty much has nothing to work with. Now they're averaging $2,500, so they already pretty much have the bare minimum amount of rounds that they would need to feel comfortable on the terrorist side. However, they can still strengthen their lead even further. So, I mean, you could even say that at this point they're playing for bonus points. I mean, obviously never really the case when you're playing CS, but you get where I'm coming from.
It's obviously a huge round for them to keep their economy. Oh, Snacks inside the smoke. Oh, but he's only got a USB. That's a problem. He does have someone who's trying to hug him inside that smoke, though. And that hug turns into a hug of death. Snacks finds one with the USB, but one will be all. Veggie, however, finding much more success. Takes down Shocks, takes down Bubble. A few kills coming in very quickly towards Shot, and that's going to be massive. Mouse as well chimes in with the Deagle, and bonus rounds are not a thing when you're up against these pistols. Faint left in a 1v3. He has to fight his way out. It's not going to be likely, but it is possible. I say that, and he dies, which is obviously not great. But Veggie, what a round from him. Able to come through, flank the players on Shot who weren't quite expecting his position. He gets 2 quick one-taps, brings them down, makes it so that there's absolutely no chance for Smash to have a clean entrance onto the B-bomb site. And then you've got Mouse's headshot with the Deagle as just the cherry on top.
Still quite a bit of, I mean, I'm just very surprised by the fact that ILLUMINAR was able to take that. I mean, they just didn't have anything to work with. I mean, I was chiming on and on about the fact that Xmash are in such a comfortable position, but ILLUMINAR, they've put themselves in a good spot now to bring themselves back into the half. Smash though, they have mid control already, and their default, it consists of having 1 player towards B, 1 towards A, and 3 assaulting mid. Now Bubble, is he going to be able to spot the player around connector before the smoke fades? The information has been given away. Bubble and Snacks have almost landed that shot there, but that miss might just cost him. I mean, there's 2 players stuck in jungle. They can't help him, but Reeds, he's the one-man army, unfortunately just dies before he can really show his power as an army.
You do still have these 2 ops, and they're terrible on retakes, but maybe they can find these long-range duels. Snacks, however, somehow loses out to the short player. Shocks is able to bring him down, slightly unexpected, despite the HP on Snacks. I thought he'd be able to run away with it. Mouse is now spotted, and he's being hunted. It is an expensive prey to catch, though, as they will be losing quite a bit of life if they want to continue on. Money, not the greatest in the world for the T side either, so it's not like this is free of cost. And Mouse is looking to find more, but does he realize he's a player who's already crept outside of market? He's going to have to take him down. Can't quick scope in time, and Grux will take him away. Seven to 4 for Smash.
ILLUMINAR for a second there, they were in a position where they could cement their comeback in this half based off of the 1 eco round. Well, not really an eco round, but a bit of a force buy that they were able to win. But now ILLUMINAR with an AWP in the hands of Snacks and a couple M4s, things are looking quite difficult. Again, they're in a position where they have to try to get these early picks, but Veggie immediately, one of the M4s taken away from the hands of ILLUMINAR, and Shocks, he is in such a good position to be a menace. Oh, is he all the way up in Mouse's face? This is so uncomfortable to watch. Mouse, I don't think he noticed that Shocks is behind him, and one of the CTs is going to have to pay for his mistake. Innocent, just running away with the M4 now. That is sad to watch. Just Such an uncomfortable interaction there on short.
Well, now you still have ILLUMINAR, who are continually trying to save this one player. Generally, they've been unsuccessful in doing so, but maybe this can be turned around. Maybe something can be made perfectly fine. Innocent takes down Bubble quickly, but there just really isn't anything there. Unfortunately, Smash or X-Smash are going to continue to live up to their old name as ILLUMINAR is further pummeled into the ground. 4 rounds on the CT side is not great, especially not when you consider that they have been winning a couple of force buys here and there. They have been winning a couple of half buys, getting a few rounds that maybe they even shouldn't have. So bring it all together, and what, you know, I think you're absolutely right, Wild Deity. What should have probably been the start of a comeback ends up being their demise.
And that's the danger of winning an eco round. I mean, your round loss bonus is further pushed down, and then if you start losing again after that, that's just one round. That's just one glimpse of hope, and then nothing else. And now ILLUMINAR back on those pistols, averaging $2,000. It should be a field day for Disco Doppelin if he's able to work his way in. Just a massacre there on Connector. He's even able to tag another player for just a little bit, and his teammates will be there to pick up the pieces.
This is the round that ILLUMINAR has to win. They've got to bring out something different, and what a difficult round to do it in. Like I said before, Molotovs aren't there, and the current meta of Mirage is based around early Molotov usage. It's about getting a molly out towards AK, which will allow you either going up into Palace, or which will allow you to position right outside of the A main entrance itself, where you can push in deeply, give the T's a very awkward place to be fighting outside of that choke point. And without that, they can't play like that. Innocent and getting 2 kills through the smoke, though, is a great combination to allow them a little bit more. He gave himself the one way down in underpass. He jumped down early, but Bubble is good for a response. It's still a 3v4. Question is, can they make this happen? Snacks is flashing over. The bomb's being planted. He's not spraying through at the right spot. Not the damage being dealt that he needs. And without utility, this is a difficult retake.
ILLUMINAR, despite picking up the first 2 kills, this still comes down to a difficult retake. Now 3 on 4, but the terrorists obviously have the better position here because the bomb is almost halfway kicked down. Fats picks up the first kill with the AWP. The retake is just about to come in, moving in from short. Moving in from stairs. Oh my, how did that happen? But Fats still in a 1 versus 2. Not going to be able to materialize anything off of it. ILLUMINAR, wait, do they not have a kit there? Oh my god. For a second there, I thought they had the kid, they would have the round, but Fats looks like he was able to hold on to his life just long enough to be able to clinch the round. Oh my. That truly did look like ILLUMINAR had it in the bag for a second. I mean, as soon as they started getting the push it there from stairs, right?
Yeah. It is still just an unfortunate place to be stuck in. You know, at the end of the day, you're looking at it, you're thinking, the past few rounds where the CT economy's been pushed this far down, it just keeps on getting worse and worse for them continually. Snacks, though, getting that smoke to work in his own favor, will be able to find the early pick-off. Unfortunately for them, the previous round, it didn't matter all that much. Sure, they got all the kills, but Smash in the last round, they've got the numbers, they've got the firepower, but Riaz has got the kills. 2 kills for him while he was getting into Palace, got aggressive, and he was actually able to turn around, take down the players near Tetris and stairs, and even tops it off with a 3k. Bubble now left in a 1v3.
I mean, Bubble should still be feeling pretty comfortable right now. I mean, he knows that there's no pressure on him to really get this 1 versus 3. I mean, sure, he can try his best here. I mean, he already has 2 kills on this round, but even if he doesn't, his team has made it to double digits on the terrorist side. The only saving grace that I can think for ILLUMINAR right now is the fact that now that they're going to be playing on the T side in the next half, they can potentially start snowballing on the basis of economy just like Smash did.
I mean, T-side is always that place where you're hoping that something can work out, but the pistol round is going to be the decider at this point. If you lose at the pistol, Wild 80, I think it might very well just be game over for them. But still early days to be discussing that. It's still all in the hands of Bubble to see whether they can get to that 5th or not. He's got a Molotov for Ballas. It won't matter that much. There's still 2 other players to contend with who are at diametric opposites. So great throw comes out towards AK. And he does unfortunately get taken down by Snacks, who's playing from CT. Nice little crossfire setup from the CT side. They do end up taking it to a 5th round, but it was so shaky. And a part of that did come down to, a little bit of luck here and there. And look at that. Once again, Smash. Great little kill for him to get. And honestly, I think if he doesn't have the good spawn there, I think if he has a bad spawn or worse spawn, and they're just able to post up, or they decide to, go in with a few more flashes regardless, that could have been a completely different round. So a bit of luck coming in there. But, at this point, you can forgive them for it. They sort of need it.
For sure. Now, by the way, the names haven't been switched around just yet, so I just don't want to cause any confusion here. But X-Smash now on the CT side, ILLUMINAR on the T. This is an uphill battle for ILLUMINAR right now. They have to give it their best shot here on the T side. Already making their way towards the A bomb site, and this is an interesting setup from the CTs. They didn't really have anyone playing in the A bomb site. Now we have seen this before, where one player plays from CT and they just go for the retake because of the nature of the A bomb site. But at least for now, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as 4 of the terrorists have gotten themselves a kill apiece. Shocks in a 1 versus 4 now has to try to make something happen. Not going to be the case. And ILLUMINAR getting their first round on the board for the T side. That is good stuff.
ILLUMINAR in a spot where those Mac 10s, those are actually going to be so incredibly important moving forward, because it's all about how much money you can accumulate on that terrorist side. Remember, Smash has got some incredibly individually skilled players, so you're probably not going to win out just on the basis of firepower. So it all comes down to economy management. It all comes down to what you can do in that regard. So this is where we look and to see what's going to be going on. Riyad's immediately long range takes down Shocks though, and with that early advantage, you'll see the CTs be forced to split up all the more. They do have a boost going into a short, which is a great one, which actually G2 likes to use quite a bit. Nexa and Hunter play this spot quite often together, and it lets you keep an eye out on both apartments and get a nice little angle towards chair and down in mid. But unfortunately for them, ILLUMINAR is not actually going forward, so they will not be given a free kill courtesy of that just quite yet, at least.
Oh, is Bubble going to be able to catch a terrorist off there, though? This jump spot might just cost him. The Deagle not quite connecting. And 2 players already down for the CT side. Disco Doplin, coming straight out of apartments, is able to pick up a kill for himself. Fet's the only one with a decent weapon on the CT side right now as Grux drops, and he also happens to be the only one on the CT side. Is he going to be trying to save this, or will he try to accumulate as much damage as possible? Ooh. 2 tags,
saving
but
is impossible there.
Yeah, I mean, he even got 2 tags there. Couldn't really bring any of that to fruition, though. Now, ILLUMINAR looking pretty good to make their way back into this game. 7 points to the 10 of X-Smash.
There is still obviously that one big 8 to 10 mark that you're waiting for to see coming through. Sorry, not 8 to 10, 9 to 10 mark, which is where things get more interesting. It's all about that first gun round. It's all about seeing what you can do. In the meanwhile, ILLUMINAR, they just want to send their Mac 10 forward. Snacks has got himself a nice new skin. It's yellow. It's got a tiger on it. What more do you want? It's perfect. And he's ready to, continue rocking and rolling all the way through. But Smash themselves, they realize that they're in a bit of a hard place to find themselves, because even with their last one as being at 2400, Fates in the next round will have himself an AWP, double flashes, not a smoke and a flash. No Kevlar either. And Molotovs are not going to be much of a thing. So I'm very curious about whether or not we'll see something new coming out from them, something interesting. And
Ooh.
as I say something interesting, Snacks just finds himself 4 kills with the Mac 10. Lots and lots of money. I talked about how it's there for that. And indeed, $6,000 on him already.
That the graveyard in Underpass, though, that was pretty interesting to watch. Just a 4K from Snacks. Look at that, they're just lining up and dropping to the ground like a bag of pillows. This is the one big round now, though. Finally, we're looking at a gun round, pretty much equal in terms of firepower on both sides. Not as much utility from the CTs as they would like. Obviously, 2 of the players forfeiting full sets of utility to be able to purchase an AWP for Fets. Lots of attention now from ILLUMINAR towards the A bomb site. Are they going to be going for a quick play here? The smokes, the mollies, they start rolling out. Oh, Grox is knocked out of his position already because of the Molotov. They're going to be moving right in. Snacks with the Mac 10 already picks up 2. He's performing so well with the Mac 10 right now. And with the picked up M4A1S, he gets a 3rd. And for X Smash, things are not looking too good as they start dropping without a single refrag to be found, with the exception of what Bubble just picked up. Ooh, Disco Doppelin. Edgy falls. And now we look at the 2 versus 3 retake.
Mau's still coming in. He knows it's all about taking down Doppelin. He was thinking of making some noise, but Snacks just comfortably, smoothly walks out of jungle, takes him down. Bubble's the only man left, and you know, this was the magic round for ILLUMINAR to win. This was the first one for them to come through. And you could see what the lack of utility is doing, but let's see how it continues to transpire for them. Smash, at the same time, remember, they can always pat themselves on the back and say, it's okay, we don't have an AWP, we'll figure it out later. But later is going to be very difficult. You're looking at an ILLUMINAR which is fated to be equalizing at 10-10. The question is, can Smash fight against that fake and, you know, X-Smash actually come through and prevent anything from happening? And you can see the replay here again. Snacks just doing everything in that round. Picks up the M4A1, finds himself 2 kills with that if you include the last one that is invisible on the replay as well.
I mean, when I said that I wanted to see what players could do around Snacks, I didn't think that Snacks would just be carrying the brunt of the weight, just running in with a Mac 10 and telling them, alright kids, this is how it's done. I'm gonna do everything for you. I mean, that was pretty nicely done. But I mean, not to take anything away from his teammates though, because they have made it to 9-10. I mean, ILLUMINAR did not look too strong, but Disco Doppelin with a Zeke and Fets following it up. Reeds and Mouse have fallen, and despite the fact that they didn't have much money to work with the CT side already, 3 kills for them as Fets wreaks havoc with his cute little pocket AWP.
Yeah. Doppelin taking down Veggie as well. He picked up the AK. Fate's finishing things off. 3 kills for him. It's an easy enough round, and as it goes to it, you can see him on the 11-11. He's not been having the greatest game so far, especially on the T side. His teammates were doing most of the heavy lifting, but now you can see him really start to come alive as well. So far, Bubble and Shocks were the big 2 fraggers, but at the same time on the other side, Snacks sitting on 20 while 80. I'm sure you're happy with that.
For sure. But at the same time, that brings it in, brings the sort of the luck factor back into question. I mean, these individual plays, they're not going to take them so far. I mean, sure, Snacks have been able to get right in, get a lot of those frags, but how, when does this stop is my question here. And let's see if X-Smash can actually put a stop to this.
Riaz is in a very important position. The entirety of mid-control for the T side seems to hinge on him and finding a kill. The deal will be coming up against Bubble, who himself is playing from ladder room, so he's got himself some room to maneuver in. However, they re-smoke off window, and with that use, I think, their last smoke as well. So ILLUMINAR, very content in doing so, but they've got to be careful. Shocks is swung out. Fate had 1 as well. The 2 kills going their way, traded away. A Molotov is perfect as well. Fate knows that he's going to be perfectly fine the way things are going. especially when you consider that Bubble is about to have the smoke in front of him on short fade away. And when that happens, these players inside Connect are going to be put underneath so much heavy fire. Doppelin as well coming in from the side. Riaz is peeking out. Doppelin pulled out a nade, and that's a mistake if I've ever seen one. A flashbang in Riaz's hand is important, but he didn't throw it out in time, and Fate will not be blinded because of it. Veggie, however, will save the day. 2 kills coming in, leaving Bubble in a 1v2. A one that he is very happy to equalize the score in. However, not much HP and information is given away. What can Bubble do to save the day? Absolutely nothing. It looked like Smash had defied fate. It looked like they'd managed to find themselves exactly what they needed, but ILLUMINAR still in a great position. However, keep in mind, Smash will have another bye in this round.
ILLUMINAR was able to win that round just on the basis of the individual play here from Veggie and a couple mistakes from Smash. So the one thing I do not like about some of the CT side approaches from Smash is the fact that they haven't really had any pushes or they haven't had any aggression. So that's one of the things that you can use as a tool on the CT side to make the terrorist side waste some money, waste some utility, and have attention towards certain areas. Now, ILLUMINAR, they were very comfortable in sending all of their players down mid, sending all of their players towards A, and not a single person had to even worry about B, worry about the push from B short. And that's because there hasn't been any pushes from X-Smash, so they can feel very comfortable. Now, if they had been pushing, the situation would not be the same, because ILLUMINAR, they would not have all of that firepower in one spot, because they would constantly be worried about a threat from X-Smash potentially lurking around the corner.
You still have to be worried about ILLUMINAR, though. They are so steady on this terrorist side. But at the same time, I think a question you asked earlier is very valid. At what point does it stop for Snacks? And he's been leading the charge, you know. But remember, those kills, we saw 2 4Ks from him in the past few rounds. That's really buffed up his stats. And you're absolutely right about that. So, you know, one of them was with a Mac 10 with 4 kills down in underpass, which is obviously, you know, against Glocks, so you're already putting an asterisk next to it.
Yeah.
After that, he managed to jump out behind the player on default and, you know, just take him down with a backstab, cause a lot of chaos. Now you have him on the up. Now he's got to have an impact, but in a slightly more consistent manner.
Even though some of Snax's kills weren't exactly impactful, you can't take away the economic impact that they have, because getting 4 kills with a Mac 10 is huge. That's a free gun right there, and then when you put the round loss bonus on top of that, that just sort of lets it go out of control, and that's something that the CT side don't want ILLUMINAR to have, especially with all of the money problems that already exist on the CT side. Now, are we going to be seeing adjustments from X-Smash, though, to potentially have some aggression? Or at least, would you like to see some adjustments? Because I personally think that right now, the passivity isn't exactly what they need. I think having a bit more aggression is what is going to keep ILLUMINAR's pushes in check.
I mean, mid-control is something where they have been failing pretty handily earlier on. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that ILLUMINAR is willing to expand 4 smokes for mid. You know, you can see it in their play style. They don't care so much about late run executes. They care more about, you know, establishing control in a manner which it won't be taken back from them. So you see them in the previous round, they used 4 smokes for mid. If I remember correctly, they might have actually used 5, but I'm bad at counting after 2. So there is that.
3.
However,
4. Oh, sorry. I thought I had to help you out there.
I didn't realize we're having a flex. We're having a flex off, but all right.
Ooh.
I have a Wikipedia
I can count
page.
up to 6. Oh, I can count to 7.
Is that the number of events you've casted?
Yes, probably.
Actually, that's probably true. Now I feel bad about that. I'm so sorry.
Okay, you're just gonna go ahead and hurt my feelings like that?
Well, I'm not sorry
as a
about
person
that.
can
I'm more
only count
sorry
to
about
2.
the fact that someone hired you 7 times.
Oh, double whammy.
Yeah, but we are back into the game as the pawns will resume. Hopefully, it will have given Smash some time to think it over. They've got full utility this time, so I would like to see them move in. But one thing you have to keep in mind about Smash is they really like their M4A1s because of the fact that a lot of these players have great first-bullet accuracy, so it does somewhat limit their ability to get aggressive towards AK just a bit. However, maybe that's not going to be a factor later on, so let's see how things transpire as ILLUMINAR set up for what should be a very basic 4-1 split.
Yet again, not a single push coming out from X Smash. Even though ILLUMINAR didn't go for very heavy control early on, Shox, he gets a kill, and this crossfire is going to work out beautifully for Grux and Shox. 2 kills apiece. Mao's now left in a 1 versus 5 because he's all the way on the other side of the map, potentially hoping for a lurk, or maybe he was hoping to come out from underpass to cut off these rotations. But that is not going to work out. I think I was expecting a bit more utility-heavy play from ILLUMINAR there, but just walking out like that, even they might have been trying to change up the pace, but that is just something that didn't work out for them. Doesn't have bomb control. 30 seconds on the clock. I think Mao's is pretty much
Crude. Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree
the word I'm looking for.
Definitely. Mao's, though, at this point, it's not even about the damage. Because you look at the economy, and as much as you can say, hey, Snacks has built it up with the 2400, hey, it's good, hey, this, hey, that, it's with T-side, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, ILLUMINAR is now at a place where they can't feasibly buy full AKs. They will be already demoted to some SMGs in there as well. If they lose this round, Smash could just run away with the entire thing. So ILLUMINAR, the bare minimum for them is a bomb plant, but they desperately want more.
X Smash, they shouldn't be feeling too happy with just one round here. In 12 to 10, ILLUMINAR is making their way back into it. We thought that they were down and out, but that apparently is not the case. Fully taking advantage of the T-side prowess. ILLUMINAR now almost on their way to the B bomb site, already jumping right out. The flash is galore, but Bubble is able to pick up a couple kills and back off without losing his life just yet. The flashbang rolls out from Mouse. He can't seem to find a player just yet, but the CTs are looking very healthy. They have all 5 players alive. Snacks and Mouse not in very comfortable positions as Mouse is eventually taken down. Snacks around the corner is able to pick up the player coming in from the market door. Looking for another, gets the headshot, but it's not going to be enough. Bubble making quick work of the T side. 3 kills for him on the board, and that was essential.
It is just... It's rough days at this point for Smash. Snack's doing everything he can, but sure, he gets 2 kills that round. But you can see, like we said before, what happens when he slows down. ILLUMINAR has been exceptionally poor at finding kills on him or anyone else really in the past few rounds that they've been losing. So Smash, they definitely have this window of opportunity where individually they're just going to continue to maintain consistency, where you can't exactly say the same for the side of ILLUMINAR. Now, though, keep an eye out over in Underpass, where Snacks has been tagged down heavily. Shox to take down Mouse in the meanwhile. And that'll be led up with another one. Snacks to fall. Shox is just partying it up in mid. You can see Smash is reading ILLUMINAR perfectly at this point. They expected more of a mid-heavy play coming in from these pistols, where they try to get long-range positions, close down a little bit. But Grux and Bubble, they just clean things up. They lost about 3 players down in Underpass, where they're trying to, mitigate the distance, trying to get into a place where maybe they can boost up in the jungle. Maybe they can, take advantage of Smash's weakness on mid at times, but that's just not the case. They've reinforced it perfectly. 14 to 10, no bomb planted means that ILLUMINAR is going to be a little bit dry on utility.
The problem here for ILLUMINAR is the fact that they've pretty much bought down as much as they can, and I don't think the round loss bonus is going to be covering full utility AK-47s and Kevlar for the next round, so this is pretty much their last major chance unless they can pull a rabbit out of this hat. Oof, that's almost connecting there, that shot there on mid. Not much mid control coming out from X Smash with the exception of an AWP player and some support from Connector. So they're just looking for information, perhaps fishing for information, and then baiting out some utility. Innocent going for the top Connector smoke. So it does seem like it eventually might be an A split because they're trying to isolate this Connector angle. They're trying to make it easier for one of the players to move into the A bomb site without having to challenge triple or have to challenge default. So this is going to be a pretty good wrap.
Snax's positioning is perfect, but Veggie's the first one to take down Bubble. Snax turns around, Trox will find 2 and 3 as he pushed through the smoke to save the day for his team. Doppler and Fate will do what they can, but Innocent is quivering in his boots because Shox has very much shown them up. The question, though, is are they going to realize that Innocent is already all the way over here towards short? Doppler does have a smoke. He could smoke it off. Fate finding the first kill is huge because that gives them control over the bomb. And Innocent is now waiting for them to make a mistake, and that's not something that Smash is going to be doing. 25 seconds on the clock. They can nestle away very calmly, wait for any sort of noise cues, and they'll have it. Innocent is now being observed by 2 players. He peeks out. He gets one, but Fate is playing that perfectly. Immediately swings back with the AWP and finishes the man off.
He was so close to actually getting that clutch because they were even lined up, but it's a little unfortunate there. X Smash managing to bring it to match point, and ILLUMINAR, they have a long way to go now. I mean, as soon as they hit those 10 points, things just haven't been going their way. And X Smash, they've been quite good on the reads, adjusting their play a little bit. They still didn't go for the kind of aggression that I was hoping for, but their reads started working out. So it still accomplished what needed to be accomplished, and I think more power to them for that. Now ILLUMINAR, this time around, they're going for a quick A take. Already jumping out the palace, and Grox, he's holding on to his horses. He's not exposing his position just yet in triple. He swings around, he gets a second one. Is he looking for the third? Is he going to be able to secure the third? Not going to be the case. Reeds takes him down, and now the T side have full control of the A bomb site. 3 on 3. And they punish the flank.
Bubble and Doppler trying to push them across the finish line, trying to finish any chance that ILLUMINAR has of bringing it back, but Riyad's playing from Tetris. He knows all about the lurk. It's all about Innocent and where he can go. Meanwhile, the CTs, they're getting a little bit shaky. They're trying to figure out what exactly they need to be doing over here. They're split up on the map, and you could see Bubble getting caught out. Innocent, Molotov goes in. It's well placed, and it will be keeping Doppler back. It also means that the rotation will be forced over. But the question is, where is the bomb? It's not being planted anywhere, and it seems like the T's have figured out that the A site is theirs for the taking. Beautiful rotations forced away, putting Smash into a retake. But remember, now that the bomb is down, Smash can just take both of these players down potentially and get the defuse out. But with Doppler going down, no real chance of air. Bubble left in the 1v3 has to be a hero, but we can't really count on it. Can't really expect it from him, but you can see why. Riyadh swings out from trash can, takes him down. The 11th round for ILLUMINAR, and they keep their hopes and dreams alive.
X Smash can't really get too comfortable now because even though it's 4 rounds, if you're playing on the CT side, 4 rounds are pretty much nothing. They can really start snowballing away as soon as the team starts facing these financial problems. They just can't buy anything up. Even this time around, they don't really have much to work with. They're averaging around $3,000 with the exception of Fets.
Remember, the CTs are still always going to be in that place where they can just be kicked down, dragged into the dirt, and told, hey, you no longer have money. So welcome to overtime. Good old Counter-Strike in 2020.
ILLUMINAR, they're going back to the bread and butter plays, trying to go for this mid control. Bubble, though, what was that? Flashed out of his mind, and is still able to go for a tippity tap with the 1 dig. and he's going up underpass. Now, this could work out beautifully because he will be ready for these terrorists if they decide to come out towards TV room. Are they going to, though? That's the question. They're still leaving one player towards mid, and the rest of them are rotating to T-spawn. Now, it all comes down to whether or not X-Smash can call this, if they can get the rotation right. The bomb in T-spawn, they have plenty of time to work with, so ILLUMINAR can go for these individual picks to potentially bait out the information. But the problem here is that they've abandoned control of mid, they've abandoned control of TV room for so long that the information there is so uncertain. If they do decide to go there, they're going to have to waste a significant amount of time. So they do eventually commit to the A bomb site. Gets the 1D, looks for a second, not going to happen. Disco Doppelin as well chimes in with a one tap of his own. Fast. Following it up, Innocent with a nasty spray down, gets 2. And now it's a 1 versus 2.
He's got a chance here against the pistols, but it's not a great one with his HP being as low as it is. It really is all about the taps, and he's got to give them very quickly if he wants to keep ILLUMINAR in this game. This was not the round they were supposed to go out on. This was supposed to be the round where they had a freebie, where they had an easy time, but it's simply not meant to be. Smash will be able to move forward.